Hello everyone, welcome to this video, and today I'm going to explain to you how you can use your lights more efficiently and how you can be more conscious about how you use them. I'm going to explain some things, some methods I use that I think work really well. If I work in Blender, by default the world color is set to gray. I always put this to black since I really don't want any light to come on my object other than the ones I choose. So basically this is how it would be by default. I always disable this, put it to 0, put it away, just black. So first of all, I'm going to show you how not to do it and things that you have to keep in mind, and then I will show you how you can really achieve very good lighting in almost any scenario. So in this case, if you look at this right now, this looks okay. But a mistake many people often do, for example, is just having everything in the same color. So if I make this too big here for a second, you can see this is not a very pleasing image to look at. You have this really monotone gray color. Of course there are situations where you want a look like that, but mostly you try to avoid something like this. If you look at this right now, we have a white light and this black and white model, and basically this results in us having a grayscale as a reference. When you light something, you try to cover every single value you see on this gradient. We have some whites and we have a lot of black and gray, so this is a pretty low-key lighting, more or less. And if I were to move this around now a little, you can see we have a much different lighting effect now. So it looks way better than before, simply because we have the whole scale covered. We have nice grays, brighter grays, we have the full whites, but we also have really dark grays and blacks, which we really want, and right now it looks way better than before. So basically, as you can see, I've applied all textures now, and it already became a little bit harder, but in this case not really, to tell the difference between all the different values I just showed you between black and white. In this case, especially if there are multiple colors, which in basically every scene there are, you're going to realize it's not really easy to see with the bare eyes, and in that case I would just advise you to go into Compositing, click on Use Nodes, and just drag a hue saturation value between your render layer and the composite, and then just press render again, and you're going to see how it looks in black and white, and then you can make the adjustments. That's a very easy way to test out your lighting. Okay, right now we have the problem we only have one light. In many cases, I would advise you to only use one light if you're a beginner, since it really is incredibly easy. But we cannot see the whole other side of the mask, which in itself has its own effect. But let's say we want to showcase the model of the mask and not achieve this dramatic effect. In that case, we need more light sources. And the way you can balance this out is keeping in mind always the values. So in this case, I'm just going to copy this over. And what many people do is work with the 3-point lighting setup, since it's really simple and does its job very well. And so I just move this over. But right now it is not a bad lighting setup, but you can see again, we don't have that many dark values. So we want to push out those dark values again, which is why I will just turn down the power of this light a little more. So we, like this, you see nothing. But this way we have, we still see what we want to see, or need to see rather. And I also can play around with the color here, so it doesn't look so weirdly washed out. So I will make it a little more red to match the object. And then maybe increase a little more. That's already way better. And then we can again, to emphasize on the shape back here, just add a last light, move it back here and use this as a key light. And then you have this really nice way of lighting your object with 3 very simple lights, and you can see it looks very nice. If I press F12 now, we can check if the grayscale is covered well. And as you can see, there are pretty much only bright spots. So in this case I would even say that I have to go a little darker. So I'm gonna go into my second light in the left, into my fill light and make that a little darker again, and try again. That's much better. You have all the values. You have these really bright spots that are pretty much white and bright gray, all the way to the blacks and dark grays, which is exactly what we are looking for. And you can use this for every object in every scene, and always just keep in mind the grayscale in order to really make these nice scenes with good lighting. I hope this video helped you guys. I just recorded this really quick because I thought it's a really interesting concept which might help a lot of people. And yeah, thank you for watching. Have a good one.